Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans! To another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, all the way down to all 50 states and the globe, is the Happy Heel himself, the Metal Geek.
Where are we going today, Joe?
Got to get the jet. Got to go and make sure Ma Queen and her mama is on the jet because we're going to Italy.
We're getting that fine wine, right?
Gonna get that fine wine. Those pretty meet those mamas, meet the people who make the pasta and go make the wine.
Yeah. All right. So let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to our guest today, Electra,
the diamond of professional wrestling.
Hi everyone. Hello.
How's it going?
See, I remembered you, the diamond of professional wrestling.
That's right.
Yes.
I am.
Yes. So if our fans, our American wrestling fans, are not familiar with you, even why would they not be? Introduce yourself.
So my name is Electra and I'm an Italian pro wrestler, and I can say that I am the best female pro wrestler in Italy right now. I have been wrestling for 5 years, and that's me. And if you are interested, you can keep watching this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
And if you have not seen it on our Instagram, we have 2 banger clips of Electra. You need to go back and go check them out. They're like geek, am I right? Like you watch
like awesome moves, by the way. It's like some of the questions I'm going to ask you. It's like, who do you base your fighting style on? Because I see like a lot of Matt Riddle in there and a lot of Lucha in there.
To be honest, it's just a mix of everything. I like to take inspiration from so many different styles and so many different wrestlers. So I cannot tell you just one person or one style. It's just really a mix, and whatever I see and I like, I want to try it, and I try it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Electra, I'm like the old school guy on the podcast, and I used to watch all the old school WWF and WCW. With that one clip that you get sent us is that you with that guy and you're flipping on and off, like flip on him, you flip around. Yeah. Me going old school, they call that catch as catch can. So you flip on the guy, he flips on you, he flips over, you go for the pin. I was like, oh, that's like old school WCW, like Brian kind of stuff like that, like Jushin Thunder Liger, like 90s like moves. I was like, oh wow, she's for me that's throwback. That's a good thing. Like to be like that in wrestling, it's to be like Ray and Eddie and stuff like that. That's a good thing because like other people say, oh, you got to be your original. To me, I think that's cool. Like that's cool, and you can stand with the boys too. Cause like
yeah. I can.
Yeah,
it's really fun for me to have matches with guys. It's a different experience, and I can do even more things. So it's really fun.
So who trained you, Electra?
So I trained for 1 year in England in WAW, which is the wrestling school of Paige's family, the Knight family. And then in Italy, I trained for ICW, Italian Championship Wrestling, which is the oldest wrestling school in Italy. And I'm still training there.
That's cool. We actually have had like How many wrestlers from WW come? I think one. Was it one geek? I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
She was a very young wrestler in WAW. It's Annabelle. That's her name. Her name's Annabelle.
Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So have you ever thought of like coming to America and wrestling? And if you have, what where would you want to start? East Coast or West Coast?
Oh, I actually have thought about it, and I was actually planning to come over there in 2020. Then we all know what happened, so
Yes, unfortunately,
I couldn't do it. But yeah, I would love to. I think it's really the biggest dream for me to wrestle in the US. So I hope it can happen in the near future.
hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Who are some of your dream opponents you would love to face in the ring?
Oh, so many. It's hard to just pick one, but women, I would say for sure Charlotte. I think she's one of my favorites, and I think she's a complete athlete on all aspects. So I would love to face her. I love Dakota Kai as well. But really, so many. I think each and every one of them is amazing, and I take inspiration from all of them. So it's hard to just pick one. From the men, I would definitely go with Seth Rollins.
Definitely, that would be an amazing match.
I think you totally would make him. You would surprise him, Electra. He'd be like, "What?"
You know, I actually met him when I attended WrestleMania 35 in 2019, and he was having a seminar with his Black and Brave Wrestling School. So I attended that seminar, and we did some short matches in front of him, and he just gave us some feedbacks. So it was really cool.
Yeah, because I could also see you getting in the ring with like a Bryan Danielson or a Matt Riddle or an AJ Styles would be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, they're all awesome. It's just hard to choose one. I mean, it's hard.
The only reason I chose that is because like you guys have like the same fighting style, that pure wrestling, the hard kicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so to tear it up with those two, man, that's a dream match right there.
Yeah, it would really be.
There's a bunch of other promotions if you ever go back to England. There's a few of them we know of because we're always in contact with them on Instagram. Is Coventry Pro Wrestling. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
I did, yeah, I have.
Outcast.
Outcast. That's another one.
I'm not sure if that one. No.
It has instead of spelled with a C, it's spelled with a K.
There's a little tiki. There's a little tiki as
It
the
looks like
logo.
a tiki mask. The logo is like a skull, almost like a crystal skull logo.
Maybe yes. Yeah.
I'll have to send you the logo. After the interview, I'll send you a picture of what the logo looks like, so you know. They're good people. They're really sweet. They're really friendly people. Small little promotion on a small little island off England, right?
Island of Wight.
Island of Wight. That's where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would be. I think it would be really great to be able to travel and go in all of these also small realities, because we in Italy are small realities, and sometimes it seems like we don't exist, but we do, and so it would be really awesome also to discover small realities in other countries.
Yeah. So this is a little off-topic question. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food. Oh my god. I think lasagna.
Lasagna.
My mother's.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite, and pizza as well.
Oh yeah. What kind of pizza?
I like to change. Lately, I've been getting the one with mortadella, which is a type of ham, and pistachio.
Ooh, that's best.
Yeah, it's a white pizza, so there's no tomato. It's only cheese and the other two ingredients. That's really good.
Well, you landed in the right place, Electra. We're a pizza podcast. We love.
Yeah, and my girlfriend's family is Italian, so her mom cooks a lot of meat sauce and pasta.
So you know what's the real pizza.
We have wrestle in New York. We'd instantly, if you came in, we would grab you and be like, Electra, we're going to Geek's house, Geek girlfriend's house, we're having dinner.
Her mom's
You'd
making
feel
sauce.
so comfortable. It'd make you feel so comfortable, Electra, because they're Italians and they know how to treat Italians. So they'd be like, she's Italian, she's a real Italian.
They've been to Italy too, so you know.
Yeah.
So they're actually probably in the chat right now. So if you want to ask any questions, you could ask them any questions in the chat.
Here we go. I got one for you, Electra. If myself and Metal Geek ever came to Italy, where would you bring us and why?
It's hard to answer because Italy is so beautiful and has so many amazing places to see. I think if it's the first time that you come, you should definitely go to Rome. I think it's one of the most beautiful cities. So yeah, I would take you there.
Okay.
Oh, great.
So many words, you can't even see Electra anymore.
What is it saying?
I think it's just an advertising.
That's just our rules and regulations.
In Italian.
Yeah, it's just advertising.
That's what we call our rules and regulations. It's like when you know when you're signing a paper and you have to sign on the dotted line and it says all this blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's like don't do this, don't do that, don't sneeze when you're on the plane. You may get kicked up, thrown off the plane.
Yeah. My girlfriend's mom, she said that they said in Italy they have their courses like separate. Is this true or
I don't know if I understood the question.
like for example, like instead of like having like spaghetti and meatballs, for example, they'll bring the meatballs out second and then they'll bring the spaghetti out for
well, it depends. I mean, my grandma does everything together. I think it also depends from which part of Italy you're from. Every region has their own habits and things they do, and sometimes what we do in the north it's completely different than what people do in the south. So
okay.
Yeah.
One of our there you go. That's what I was going to say.
What town of Italy? I live near Milan.
Milan.
Oh, wow, Milan.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Even saying the word Milan, I'm like, wow, that must be pretty. Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
Have you here we go. Is there any are you guys having any upcoming events and where can our fans find it?
So if you can follow me on my social media, you can see all of the next events I will be featured. The next match I have is this Saturday against Queen Maya, and then for ICW, and then I will be attending the show. I think it's the first weekend of June. I don't remember the date exactly. At the 4th maybe, and I will be in SIW, so in Tuscany. I cannot tell you the match or if I have a match or what match I have because it hasn't been announced anything yet. But
that's fine.
I will be there.
Yeah.
And also in June I have some shows I will be attending. So.
Okay, that's cool.
Is there anybody on the indies that you've been watching or that you want to get in the ring with?
So I think because she's Italian, I would love to face her, Laura Di Matteo. She's an Italian wrestler that now is working mainly in England. She's been to NXT UK as well. So I would love to face her, to be in the ring with her, and just compare myself with her. Yeah.
if there's any anybody that's listening to our podcast or watching later on that are training to become a wrestler, if they have any advice, like what would you give them? Any kind of advice would you give them?
So I think the most important thing is to stay humble and trust the process, and just don't do things in like you're in a hurry. Like don't do step by step and stay calm because I see lots of times I see guys that start training and they're like, oh, I want to do this move and this other move, and they don't even know how to run the ropes or to do the basics. So I think like the most important thing is to understand that wrestling is not something easy. It takes time to learn, and you need to start with the basics, and you need to go slowly and to learn those things first, and then you can just be creative and do whatever moves you want. But I think at the beginning it's really important to stay calm and to listen to the trainers.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. When like a lot of wrestlers are first starting out, they want to go fast. I want to have a 5-star match. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then what happens later on in their careers is they end up like hurting, and they can't do the stuff that because they burnt out so quickly. So I'm guessing like everything you're saying it makes perfect sense. It's like slow down, and then once you become more advanced and start learning, then you start picking up speed and then start doing more intense stuff, because you're just going to burn out yourself even before you make it to the big times.
Yeah, I agree. Also for me, so I've been wrestling for some years now, but I think right now I'm in a time where I can try to risk a little bit more and push myself a little bit more. But a few years ago, I wasn't, even though I had been training for some years already, but I just wasn't mature enough to make that further step. So it's really important to just really trust who's training you and what they're telling you, and slow down and do everything as they tell you.
It's like all these young wrestlers you see on the indie scene that, like, as Geek said, like they're like, oh, I want to do this or that, and then you never see after like 5 or 6 matches, they burn themselves out and they never get that spotlight, because there's people we've had on our podcast that like they're going to AEW Dark. They've been like Kylan King. I don't know if you heard of her before.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
She's been on AEW Dark, what, like 5 or 6 times already? Geek?
Yeah. And she's just killing it on the indie scene right now.
Every time we see her turn around, I'm seeing her with the new title belt on her shoulder. I'm like, it's like a Ferris wheel. It's like,
and she's a really good wrestler too.
And she's a good person too. If you ever get a chance to check her out, she's really cool. She's really sweet. And she's funny as hell. And she gets mad at me because I didn't like Spider-Man. But I do like Spider-Man. I didn't see the movie. I felt like I don't like the person. Jeez. Okay, here we go. Ahmad has a question.
Do you have any pets?
I have a cat, yes.
A cat.
A red cat.
Oh, orange kitty, yay.
The big question.
Yeah, I'm a cat woman.
I have a Daushan named
What kind of cat?
It's European. It's not I don't know how to say it in English, but it's just a European cat.
European cat,
she was a stray cat. I saved her from the streets. She was in a really bad condition. So I took her home and I saved her.
That's nice. That's cool. That's a cool story. I like that. That warms my heart, because one of our dogs we used to have, she was a rescue and stuff like that. And that's cool. We like that here on the podcast. Saving floofs one at a time, as we say.
Yeah.
She has a mini golden doodle. What would you say your favorite match of all time is?
My favorite match of all time?
It could be anything. Could be anything.
I don't know why I always say that. I love the match between Sasha Banks and Bailey they had
Definitely.
on
Not a bad choice.
NXT. That is the, I don't know why every time I am asked this question, that one is the match that comes to my mind. I love it.
Yep.
Weren't you at that match, Geek?
I was there live. I saw that moment. Geek cried. Geek teared up. It got emotional, that match. You know?
I was at WrestleMania 20. I saw Chris Benoit versus Shawn Michaels versus Triple H live in the car, and I was there for the Undertaker return when he returned as the Dead Man. Still get chills every time. Oh, I just got chills every time I watch that moment when the gong was off and you hear like, "Oh yeah," I can't. I have to stop watching because I tear up because it's so cool.
It's those moments that they're just amazing. Yeah.
And my seats for that night, Electra, because we switched them because they were supposed to be behind the set, but we moved it. The guy let me move. I was behind the gorilla position, so I could see the Undertaker waiting for his cue behind the curtain.
Oh.
It was kind of bad because most wrestling fans like, you just broke the fourth wall. I saw where he was standing, but I'm like, just to see him standing there and people were yelling Taker, and he's just like not moving, standing there waiting, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Mine's Kenny Omega versus Okada number 4. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with all 4 of those matches, but Kenny Omega, Okada.
Yeah, I was saying that it's hard not to like those kind of matches.
No, right? That fast-paced. Well, it's not really fast-paced because it's like an hour and 5 minutes, right? But the last 10 minutes of that match, holy crap, man! It's like, what didn't they do in that match to get your attention? You know. And the way the announcing was towards the end of the match with Don Callis to Kenny to hook the leg and counting the 3 was absolutely amazing.
If you could take anybody from the past, anybody from either the Italy wrestling world or the American wrestling world, and you could wrestle them or speak to them, which one would you do?
I think AJ Lee.
Okay.
She is the one I really grew up watching. So I would love maybe not to have a match with her, but just speak with her. That would be awesome. She really made such a huge impact on me when I was growing up, and so she's like a role model. Like what I felt with her, I never felt that way with anybody else.
Okay.
What would you say your favorite movies are? Our favorite movie?
My favorite movies?
Yeah.
So I usually like dramatic movies, like those movies that make you cry.
Mm-hmm.
I hate romantic movies. I also like adventurous movies. I don't know if I have a favorite one. I think I like very much The Silver Lining Playbook.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
With Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, great movie. Yeah. One movie you have to check out. I don't know if you've seen it. Big Fish.
I've heard of it, but I've never.
Tim Burton. That movie, towards the end, will make you cry. Very sad.
I read it down.
Big Fish is the name of the movie. Joe, you have any suggestions or?
No, I got nothing.
Movies that make you cry.
The one I always tell girls and they automatically tear up as soon as I say it. The Notebook. The Notebook. You ever seen The Notebook? That's like the big.
No.
Oh, it's a popular movie. It's in America. I don't know if in Italy, maybe overseas also. It was a popular movie that it came out and all the guys were told by their girlfriends they had to see it or they're in trouble. It was that kind of movie. It's a go-to movie. All girls know about The Notebook. Like it's a
I
popular
think
movie.
maybe it has a different name in Italian, so that's why it doesn't sound familiar. Maybe that's why.
What would our podcast be called if it translated in Italy in Italian?
So remember me the name. The dudes are ringside, right?
Yes.
So ragazzi a bordo ring.
Ah, okay. See, I should have did that. I didn't think about it, Electra. I should have had because
I mean, it was easy.
Because we had somebody else. It was oh my god, who was it? Oh, it was what's her name's son? That came on our podcast, Geek. It was
Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa's son did a promo for us, Electra, completely in Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it. You have to go scroll up a little bit on there, but it's there. If you want to do it one day, if you're up to just want to send us a promo in Italian, we'll post it.
Okay.
Because we have this phrase that I say and Geek goes, yeah, behind it when I say it. Wrestling speaks all languages. That's what we say.
Yeah, that's right.
Wrestling speaks all languages, and everybody has to learn a little bit of everything.
Sometimes I watch New Japan with the Japanese commentary on, because it's all about the emotion and watching like the announcers talk and how how excited they get about the match. I guess it's like that goal thing, right, Joe? When they're saying, when you're watching soccer and you want to watch in Spanish, you say goal like that,
My favorite, not to sound weird or anything, but when I'm at my grandmother's house and they're watching the Spanish channel, I'm more excited to hear what the commentators are saying, even though I don't know what they're saying. I'm like, I look at my grandma like, I go by their reactions more than the people talking on the TV. I went on the YouTube channel. I started watching your channel, your guys on YouTube, and I was watching it and I was listening to the commentary, and I'm just like, the action's awesome, but I want to hear what they're saying and how they're saying it. It's so like, I get so into it. I'm like, wow, it's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Growing up, watching wrestling, I couldn't watch it with the Italian commentary. It was just not the same. So I would always turn off the Italian translation and keep the English version, and that actually helped me also learning words and improving my English. But it really was so different, the commentary. So if you hear it in the original language, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
exactly. I guess because the announcers have a more of a connection to what's going on, because like I said, in like New Japan, sometimes I'll watch it with the Japanese commentary. I don't understand what they're saying, but it's like you understand what they're saying because of the tone that they're using. Because they get excited about the matches. So, but yeah.
I got nothing else, Geekins.
We want to thank you so much for coming to the podcast, by the way.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right.
And please, when you get a chance, tell your owner, because we're doing an owners month in June, and we would love to have the owner of your promotion come on our podcast if he's not busy.
You mean SIW?
Yes.
Yeah.
SIW.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
And please, and you can also please spread through your locker room, because we would love to interview some more people from SIW, because you guys are so cool and welcoming to us.
Yeah, the matches that you guys put on are
you guys put through some fire of matches, straight 10 stars. Like, whoa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. No, it's really great to have this feedback also from the other part of the world. I mean, we try our best to do the best we can and to put up a great show. So it's awesome to see that there are people outside of our country watching it and enjoying it.
Yeah.
And if we can, we would love to do a watch party for you guys. If you guys want us to do it, we'll do it. We don't care. We love it. We love wrestling now.
Like watching an SIW show and then reacting to it.
Like doing like a reaction.
I think it would be great. I will speak with Alex Flash for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, we'd love helping promotions like that.
We don't care. We may have day jobs, but after work, we have nothing to do. We want to watch wrestling.
Okay.
Right. I'm Joe Panther III.
I'm the Metal Geek.
And
I'm Electra.
And we will catch you in the next one.